Alright, so we're doing 4.7 vectors in a plane. And for the first example, you want to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. And first you want to find the component form, and to do that you would do x2 minus x1, so it'd be -1 minus 3, and then y2 minus y1, which is 2 minus 5, and then that gives you -4, -3, so that would be 4 to the left and then 3 down. And then now you want to find its magnitude, and to do that you would take this answer and then just square both numbers and add them to each other and take the square root. So you get 16, 9, which is 25, which then becomes 5. And then you would plot -4, 3. And that's how you do that one.
So to find x, you will do 40 cos 30, and you'll get an answer of 34.6. And to find y, you do 40 sine 30, and you get an answer of 20. So to use the head to tail method, you have to do x1 plus x2 and then y1 plus y2, and that's to find the sum of the two vectors x plus y. So you would do -2 plus 3, which is 1, and 5 plus 4, which is 9. And then on the graph you would plot -2, 5, and you would connect that from the origin. And then from -2, 5, you'll go right 3 and up 4, and you connect that and draw an arrow. And if you do this, then it'll match up correctly with the point that you got 1, 9.
Alright, so finding the differences of two vectors. To start, you want to do x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1, and that would give you 5, -1. So when you're plotting, you want to plot, alright, so to do the plotting, you want to plot y's first, which is 3, 4. And then from that, you want to do the second vector, which is -2, 5, but you want to switch the signs of those two to -5. So over right 2 and then down 5 to there, and then that matches up with 5, -1. Alright, so for this one, you're going to want to draw a parallelogram and match up the u, v, and angle numbers. So u is 14.6. It's bad 14. V is 25.2. And you want to find w, which is right here. And to do that, you do a squared equals 14.6 squared plus 25.2 squared plus 2, and then in parentheses you do 14.6 and 25.2, which gives, and then cos 45, and you do all that out in your calculator, and you would get next you want to take the square root of that number, which gives you 37 if you round up. So w is 37. And then after that, you want to do the absolute values of 37 squared plus the absolute values of 25.2 squared minus the absolute value of 14.6 squared over 2 and in parentheses 37 and 25.2, which would then give you a fraction of 1790.88 over 188.7, and you do that out and get 9.5, which is your final answer. All right, so an airplane has an airspeed of 450 miles an hour and has a heading of 60 degrees. A wind is blowing from the north at 42 miles an hour. Find the plane's ground velocity, including ground speed and course, to the nearest degree. All right, so the important thing to take out of this is that the airspeed is 450, the heading is 60 degrees, and the wind is blowing from the north at 42. So when you draw that out, you want to draw your graph with a dotted line pointing north, the speed line, which is 450, and then the wind, which is pushing down because it's coming from the north, which is at 42 degrees. And to find the ground velocity, you would do x squared equals 450 squared plus 42 squared minus 2, and in parentheses 450 and 42 with cosine of 60. Then you would do that all out in your calculator, get x squared equals that. You take the square root, which is x equals 430.5, which is your ground velocity, which goes right here. And then, all right, so you have to use opposite interior angles, so this also is 60 right here, and you want to find A. So to find A, you do sine of A over whatever is across from it, which is 42, equals sine of 60 over 430.5, and then you cross multiply and get 430.5 sine of A equals 42 sine of 60, divide by 430.5, and then you get A equals 4.8, and to find the course, you have to add 4.8 to 60, which gives you 64.8, and then that's your final answer.